This video demo will take you through our online account opening solution for individuals, joint applicants, sole traders, companies, trusts and superannuation funds to demonstrate how easy it is to onboard customers and electronically verify their identity and have an application form approved within minutes. Our product can easily be white-labelled with your branding. In this demo example, a financial crimes consulting sub-brand has been created. The online application framework is fully compliant with the Customer Identification Programme requirements of the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorism Financing Act 2006 in Australia. We are also working on expanding our product to meet the customer onboarding requirements for both the AML-CTF Act 2009 in New Zealand and the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. In this example, we will take you through an example of a self-managed super fund application with a corporate trustee to demonstrate how a complex structure can be verified easily through our platform. In the Application Manager, simply log in using the username and password, which will take you to the My Applications page, which displays the applications that are either in progress or complete for the user that has logged in. The other functionality of this screen includes searching and exporting of applications, viewing electronic verification or identification summaries, generating application form PDFs from a single set of data, and allowing applications to be assigned to other internal staff members. There is inbuilt logic for setting user permissions, such that certain staff can only view, edit certain applications. For example, an advisor's assistant could be restricted to only the advisor or advisors that they work for. To commence a new application, click the New Application button and select the type of entity that is making the application. The All Apps tab provides an organization-wide view of applications and the ability to administer cold leads originating directly through the website. The Reporting tab provides a summary of applications broken down by completed application types, pass or fail rates of electronic verification, by volume, and by those applications that meet the safe harbour or minimum AML KYC requirements. Other reports can be provided through this tab, based on the management information requirements of the organisation. In this screen, simply tick the customer type relevant to the individual or entity that is applying for an account and click Start. To start the application, you will need to enter a primary contact email address for the client. In this case, since an advisor is initiating an application on behalf of a client, the advisor name has been automatically selected. An in-progress application record is created after this point. Once the application is started, the email address provided will be sent emails at key points in the account opening process until the account opening process is completed. The next screen allows the selection of the relevant products or services that the client is applying for. Please note that these are simply examples, and our solution is fully customizable to include any of the products or services that your organization offers. Our product is fully flexible and allows the application process to be dynamically driven based on the product or service selections, as we recognize that some products will require more information to be collected than others. We even have the flexibility at the end of the account opening process to pre-populate your organization's or third-party organization's application forms in PDF format, based on the information that is provided during the account opening process. Once the products have been selected, this generates an email template, which can be edited by advisors or account opening staff to tailor the message to the client, and once sent, the email attaches product disclosures, account terms, and any other documents associated with the product or services selected in the previous step. Included in the email is a URL link, so the client can resume the application at any point in the future, and also a unique PIN for the client to input in order to complete their application. Our product recognizes that many clients simply want to accept the terms and conditions, but have their advisor or relationship manager enter their personal information into the account opening process, so advisors can also continue the application on the client's behalf up until the point of client acceptance. For an application initiated by a client through an organization's website, a resume link and a PIN is automatically sent to the client's primary email as soon as the product selection step is completed. This process is the same if an advisor initiates the application form on the client's behalf. At this point, an email notification will be issued indicating that the application has started. To complete the application, the client then needs to click into the URL link and resume the application to provide their consent. In this example, we are onboarding the ABC Superfund Trust, which is a self-managed superfund. Next, provide the corporate trustee details of the ABC Superfund, in this case Lab Group Proprietary Limited. Note that an asterisk indicates the mandatory fields that must be completed. Enter the principal place of business, if this is different to the address provided previously, or if it is the same, tick the box at the top of the screen, which will auto-populate these fields. Next, select the type of regulation that the company is subject to, the nature of the business activity, and the corporation type. Next, add the names of the directors of the corporate trustee, indicating who are the authorized representatives, who is the company secretary, and which director is the primary contact for the account. Additional directors can be added at this point. In this example, we have two corporate trustee directors, Nicholas Boudry and Anthony Quinn. Next, enter in the details for each director, including their date of birth, driving license, residential address, and phone numbers, which will allow an electronic verification check to be conducted for the director as an individual entity type. Next, enter the details of the second director. In this example, we have entered in incorrect details for Anthony Quinn, but the correct details for Nicholas Boudry to demonstrate a successful and unsuccessful electronic verification check. Next, select the names of all company shareholders in the corporate trustee. Additional shareholders can be added, which then dynamically adds the next step into the application process. Next, add the name and residential address of any additional shareholders. Next, give the account a designation, which is essentially naming the account. Unless specified, the name of the trust will be entered as the default. Next, enter the settlement instructions and provide agreement to the terms and conditions. This step in the process is dynamically added based on the product selection, since the client is applying for an equity trading account. Next, the client can nominate a linked account, for example, a cheque or savings account that can be linked to your company's trading account. Next, the client can elect to establish a new sponsored HIN with the organization or transfer an existing HIN from another broker. Next, specify the correspondence address, for example, a mailing address, a PO box, or a care of address if a third party, such as an accountant, broker, or advisor, is to receive all correspondence on the client's behalf. Next, an authorized representative can be added to the account who will have the same transacting authority as the client. At this point, the client is the only person that can accept the terms and conditions of the products for which they are applying and provide consent to be identified electronically. The account opening team can see in the My Applications window that the corporate trustee application has been started and is 99% complete. If the client accidentally deletes the email notification, the advisor can resend the email at the click of a button. This screen is displayed once the client clicks on the URL in the email for the application process to continue and for the client to provide consent. This returns the client to the last page in the application for the client to provide consent that they accept the terms and conditions of the product disclosure statements and consent to having their identity electronically verified. Once consent has been provided, the electronic verification process runs in the background and returns the results. This process takes approximately 5 seconds per entity. In this example, electronic identity verification was successful for one of the directors, Nicholas Boudry, and therefore is not required to provide further identification documents. However, the other director, Anthony Quinn, failed the electronic identity verification checks, so the system has automatically reverted to instruct the alternate process, in this case the provision of certified copies of identification documentation, to finalise their part of the application. The trust, ABC Superfund, passed the electronic verification. For the corporate trustee, Lab Group Proprietary Limited, a company report has been ordered automatically in the background and emailed to the organisation. This demo configuration also enforces the collection of a certified ASIC certificate of registration, despite the electronic verification result. The client instruction output configurations overlaid with electronic verification are highly flexible, based on the organization's desired identification protocols. The intention is to provide a simple client checklist that is completely tailored to the component parts of the application and the organization's requirements. We utilize a middleware layer to cleanse and enrich the data match process, resulting in a match rate of around 80%, which reduces the manual exception process for collecting paper-based identification documents and saves you money. Since our software understands when a match is not possible, it reconstructs the data based on simple business logic, then initiates the matching process all in a single straight-through process. An email is then sent to the advisor confirming that the client's application has been completed and summarizes the primary information such as primary contact, product selected, and electronic verification results. At the same time, an email will be sent to the client confirming that the application has been completed. This email contains confirmation of the products or services selected and instructs the customers on next steps. All required auto-populated Adobe PDF application forms are attached to this email, where a signature and return of forms may be required. When returning to the My Application screen, the application status has changed from 99% to complete, to confirm that the client has provided consent and the application process has been completed. At this stage, it is possible to show a summary of electronic verification and identification requirements, or automatically populate Adobe PDF application forms based on the information provided during the application process. This displays the results of the individual electronic verification check for Nicholas Boudry, the director of the corporate trustee Lab Group, who passed the electronic verification check. The VeriCheck report displays the detail behind the electronic verification check and highlights which sources passed and failed the verification checks. The results are delivered to the organization, not the client, so the electronic verification records can be sorted alongside other client documentation to evidence that they have successfully passed electronic verification as part of the Customer Identification Program requirements of your organization's anti-money laundering program. This displays the results of the individual electronic verification check for Anthony Quinn, the other director of the corporate trustee Lab Group, who failed the electronic verification check. This displays a detailed company report delivered for the corporate trustee Lab Group Pty Limited. This displays the results of the self-managed superfund electronic verification check for the ABC Superfund, which passed the electronic verification check. This displays an example of an application form that can be pre-populated based on the data provided in the application process. The auto-population functionality can be applied to pre-populate any Adobe PDF application form and is fully customizable to your organization. Please do not hesitate to contact us to arrange a demo.